Welcome everybody to Phoenix International Speedway. My name is Josh Hall for the Fort Worth Screen Printing iOS Cup Series here, the Estrella Mountains 120. As practice is just wrapping up here, I'm joined tonight by Matt Knights. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited to see this, Josh.
Yeah, we got an exciting season so far. Last week, we were at Bristol, and yeah, the points shake up just a little bit. Dakota Camper is still leading the points right now, 111 points. Bobby Mays back 5 points. Will Witt tied with him and TJ Floyd. So we got a three-way tie for second place right now. With TJ Floyd would be holding that tiebreaker right now because he's got that one win. He's locked into the playoffs. And then Brandon White sitting there 1 point back behind them. So as far as the points battle up at the front, it's pretty tight with the top 10 only being separated by 23 points.
Now, Josh, let me ask you, does a win get you in?
A win gets you in. So these guys are trying to get their wins to get in. So that
So,
takes
so
the
Colin
pressure.
is in.
Yep, Colin is in. Colin Willems, our winner last week, as he went back to back in both the Cup Series and the Truck Series, as we see right now on track. Gannon Cypher's in that 42 machine, making his qualifying runs. And he was pretty quick in practice. He was, I believe, second in practice or up there. So we'll have to see where his qualifying comes out today. As he comes off the corner here for his timed lap. Right now he's going to be in 7th. So right now our provisional pole sitter as they sit right now is the one of Dakota Camper, as he's jumping down to that dog leg there. And that's something you're going to see a lot tonight. That dog leg is open. These guys are going to be able to run anywhere on the track they really want to go. There is no out of bounds.
I'm assuming, Josh, that passing is going to be allowed under that yellow.
Oh yeah, these guys are going to be 3, 4, 5 wide on the restarts through that backstretch little dog leg. It's going to be exciting.
Especially coming back onto the track there as it narrows back up and getting into turn 3?
Yep, coming up to turn 3. So this is the old style Phoenix, not the redesign that they just had. So you're going to see the start finish line is in the middle of the straightaway, which is now the back stretch. It is the front stretch here on iRacing. So, and I see Brandon White messaging here on Facebook. Sadly, he's going to miss this week. Working out of town. Good luck, everybody. Brandon, tough luck, but we'll definitely see you next week for sure as we go road course racing next week. And up at the top of the board right now, Kyle Mays ran a 27:34. It's a pretty quick lap around here. Dakota Camper ran a 27:40, so almost a 10th faster. Kyle Mays is than second place at the moment. Colin Willems on track right now. He's sitting in 3rd.
Kyle Mays just second lap, just shaved off a little bit more down to 27:29.
Man, that's some blazing times. As Colin Willems going to finish there with a 27:47. Isaiah Gill on track now. As we see him cutting that dog leg too. And race control just mentioned here. I don't know what's going to be harder, race control, Nightmare, Phoenix, or Bristol. I think you had your work cut out for you last week at Bristol. I think this might be a little bit more of a sane race, as it's a much wider track. It's flatter. It's not as fast as Bristol is. A lot of people, like we said last week, people don't realize how fast Bristol actually is. As we see Cody Moore out on track right now in that 52 machine. Makes Ryan Leaf look like a good pick. So he's just finished up his laps. He's right now in 11th place. Greg Froelich on track right now. And Phoenix is a tough little track to get around. It's a flat track, not a lot of banking. It's really easy to wash up the track, just like Greg did there right there. It's really easy to get down on that apron and get loose. I personally kind of like to run that apron to get a little bit of to get the car a little out of shape, get it a little sideways. Definitely helps the car turn. I know, Matt, you said you were running a bunch of laps here today.
I was noticing tires falling off anywhere from 15 to 20 laps in. And that's where I started shifting into the corners. I felt like I had more control and better launch out of the corners. So I'm interested to see what these guys do.
Yeah,
Still learning.
I tend to shift through 3 and 4 myself as the tire run wears off. I love that back bumper. It just says, got it. That is a bit of an inside joke between a lot of the guys here. So that's pretty funny right there, as he's going to move himself up to the 6th position. Oh, he's going to jump up to 3rd place right now provisionally. We see the 86 of Derrick Riggle on track right now. He's on his first, going to come to his first timed lap here. I know he's not 0 years old, but that's what it says there. He's from Medina, New York. As he's just starting his first qualifying lap. We got about 4 minutes left in qualifying, so again, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 likes here on Facebook by the end of April. That would be Intensity's 1-year birthday this April, so trying to push that along. Don't forget to share with your friends, anybody who'd like to see some great virtual racing here on iRacing. Also, don't forget to join us on Twitter at IntensityBroad1. I know Atlee did post on there today. He posed a question to everybody, so we want to get some feedback on that. And we also just started the Intensity Broadcasting podcast that we're going to be doing live on Sunday nights before the Original Rebels League. So don't forget to check that out. It's been recorded. It's up on Facebook. We also have it on Spotify podcasts and Apple Music. So go ahead and check that out if you will. If we'll talk a little bit about virtual racing, a little bit of real world racing, and we'll be promoting all our leagues there too. So if you know anything you'd like mentioning, don't be afraid to pass it along to either myself, Atlee, or you can go right on Facebook and message Intensity Broadcasting right there. See Eddie Morris on track. He's gonna put that thing into 11th place. I believe that's everybody on track at the moment. I don't see anybody else on track right now. See a couple cars yet to qualify. Jackson Qualley hasn't qualified yet. Stephen Black, Nick Ford, Michael White. So I don't know if they're expecting to go out a little bit later. Oh, we see Michael White just entered pit lane. Nick Ford just left pit lane. So we do have a couple cars getting ready to make their qualifying attempts right now. We see here's Michael White out on track. From up in Maine, another New Englander here. And you see he's making that real slow qualifying or opening lap here. Making sure not to burn the tires off before getting out there and making your qualifying lap. And let's go ahead and ride on board with him so we can see just how flat this track really is as he comes through the dog leg here. But there's not a lot of banking as he comes here into turns 3 and 4. Heavy on the brake. Really letting the car roll through the center here and picking up the gas as you come off the corner here. Making sure to get the power down and not spin the tires off the corner. So you see how soft and smooth he is. Now we'll check out Jackson Qualley here. I know Jackson is not 36 years old. 11 years old and just sending it. I love it.
And I'll bet you're going to see Jackson pretty smooth.
Yeah, you can already see Jackson just letting it roll. Oh, gets a little loose there off the corner. And you hear him, he's just not able to get the power down. As he comes, yeah, he just cannot get that power down. Car is really, really loose, as you can hear. And that's going to move him up the 29th spot. Nick Ford already finished his laps. He's going to be rolling off in 22nd as of right now. Unless somebody else makes a lap. I see Max McClure is on pit lane right now. Well, it looks like that's going to do it. So we'll bring you through our grid. Bear with me just a second. My buttons have all moved around since last time I broadcast. But Kyle Mays with a 27.291. He's going to be your pulse there tonight. Dakota Camper in the second row here. Will Witt rolling off third in the 35 machine. And Colin Willems, last week's winner, rolling off in fourth.
Isaiah Gill starting fifth. The number 2 machine, Logan Hagerman, starting in 6th. Brett Merle in 7th, and Zach Coxon 8th.
Intensity Zone, Joseph Wright is going to be rolling off 9th in the 82 machine. Brownell Jr. in the 12 machine rolls off in the outside of row 5. Eddie Morris, another Intensity broadcaster, he'll be starting 11th, and Gann Cyphers in the 12th spot.
13th, the 52 of C.D. Moore, the 99 of Austin Blaylock. In 14th, 15th, Jacob Bowen. In the 22 machine, Chris Wheeler starts off in 16th.
In 17th, Michael Provo in the 95 machine, he'll be rolling off. And then Craig Schroeder in the 4 machine in 18th. Dylan Redding in the 11, rolling off in 19th. And Dustin Dean, last year's champion, in 20th. We're just going to roll through. These are quick pace laps here, so just going to kind of roll through the grid here. We went through our top 20. You see where your favorite drivers are starting as we're going to get ready to go green flag racing. We already see the pace car is off. Green flag is in the air. Kyle Mays leads them to the start here. Great jump on that inside line with Dakota Camper on the outside as they come into turn 1 here. And it's going to be real dicey side by side as they come through the corner here, but when they get onto this backstretch, look at them fan out onto that dog leg. And almost trying to make it 3 wide a little further back. We see we do see some 3 wide action. Almost 4 wide as Dustin Dean trying to make that way high side work and just not able to do it. Oh, we got one around in the back there. That's Greg Froelich, and that's going to bring out our first yellow. Sorry, it wasn't Greg Froelich. That was... Bring up our Wreckage Rewind here to see what happened.
49 was involved. TJ Floyd.
Yeah, so... it was the 86, it looks like, that went around. That's Derrick Riggle. Yeah, he... see if we can get a good view here. Here we go. We see him way up into that gray stuff up there, up in the loose stuff, the marbles, and just loses it all by himself. Comes back across the track, catches that inside wall. Slide right up in front of the 70. 71 misses it. But here comes Max McClure. Max is going to get by. He's just got to brush the wall a little bit. But here comes TJ Floyd getting caught from behind the 46. That's a sweet looking ride, that 46. Days of Thunderish looking car. But that's a tough break for those guys in the back with nowheres to go. That's Zach McBride, and it's a pretty sweet looking ride right there. The Cole Trickle, half City Chevy, half Superflow car. I'm going to give that some airtime because that is definitely worth the view. Looks like he doesn't have too much damage. Didn't take his reset. Looks like he's just going to get it fixed and get back out there. But up front, Kyle Mays. in the 55 machine. Had a great jump there. We'll see if he continues the trend. Couple big movers already. Bailey Jones up 6 spots from the start. We're only a couple laps in, but she's made her way up, taking advantage of some of these guys getting loose in the corner, and she's able to move herself up pretty well. Up in the 21st already. And a couple names that you expect to see more towards the front. Dylan Redding sitting back in 19th right now. I don't know if this is just not one of his favorite tracks or what, but normally he's up there battling for the lead. Doesn't look like Stephen Black made it on track, so fortunately I don't think he's going to be running tonight. As we go back up to the front as they rack them up double wide. And again, I expect to see some exciting passing through that dog leg tonight. We already saw some people trying to take advantage of it, and as the tires wear out, you'll really see these cars start to slip slide around, and it's going to get exciting as the pace car makes that not so sharp move into the pit lane here. Kyle Mays leads them back to the start. Green is in the air.
What a shot.
What a great restart for Kyle Mays. We're going to jump into the blimp view here so we can really see these guys already 3 wide. Dustin Dean in the middle, 3 wide. He's making some stuff happen right now. He's on the outside of Gannon Cyphers, trying to bring that thing to the front. Speaking of up front, Colin Willems up in the 2nd place. Isaiah Gill moving into the 3rd spot. Right now, Colin Willems is starting to close in a little bit on Kyle Mays. A little further back, we see some side-by-side racing here. Logan Hagerman and Will Witt. And the 51 is Zach Cox. And even further back, we've got a lot of jostling going on back here with Nick Ford and Jacob Bowen going 3 wide here on Chris Wheeler. But again, up front now, Colin Willems under pressure from Isaiah Gill. You see Isaiah is able to roll the corner. Looks like Colin's able to get on the gas just a little bit better through 1 and 2. But as they come into 3 and 4, 3 and 4 tends to be a little bit flatter. And you can definitely get a really good run here off the corner. As you see Isaiah gets a little loose there. Oh, here Colin get really loose there. That's going to let Isaiah have a great run into turn 1 here. Gets the position. He's going to slide right into that 2nd spot. See if Isaiah takes that dog leg here to clear Colin. Oh, he pushes him up the track as they go back into turns 3 and 4. So great run by Isaiah Gill here. And he's going to set his sights on Kyle Mays. As you see, the field is now starting to calm down, get a little more single file, a little further back.
10th to 20th is still bunched up a little bit. But the front 10 be spreading out, like you said, Josh.
Yeah, everybody's kind of getting comfortable with their cars. Another side-by-side battle here between Michael Lawrence and the 52 of C.D. Moore. It looks like Michael's going to have that run on the outside. Just in front of them, Chris Wheeler, Jacob Bowen going at it. Back up front, Kyle Mays. starting to pull away from the field just a little bit. He's got about a second lead on Isaiah Gill, and that lead doesn't look to be shrinking just yet. If we ride along with Kyle here, you can really hear how long it's taken these guys to get back to the gas. Couple quick shout outs here on Facebook. Dean Qualley says, "Go get him, Cyclone. Wish I wasn't on the night shift." Got Cassie Willems saying, "Let's go, Colin." Noah Walter, go Max and Jason, or Jackson, excuse me. Jennifer Bowen says 28, tonight's your night. And Nick Mather says, "Let's go, Colin." And Isaiah now is starting to gain on Kyle just a bit. He's cut that lead down to 0.8 of a second. We get that battle box up here. Get rid of this. We don't need to see that. We should see that. How about that? As now Isaiah's cut in another 0.2 on that lead. And Colin Willems not going away either. He's staying right there with Isaiah, but Isaiah is flying as he's already up to under a half a second. Oh, as the yellow flag comes out. So we can see what happened here. It looks like
47.
Yeah, Michael Lawrence had a little bit of an issue here. We come back to action here. Michael Lawrence just gets down on that apron. Loses it all by himself. When the apron is that flat, it's really easy to do that single car spin. That's going to bring the yellow out tonight as he's able to loop that thing back around and get it going the right direction. But what that's going to do is that's going to allow Isaiah Gill to easily close that gap back up. We got a couple takers on pit lane.
And just FYI, Josh, Zach McBride is now 7 laps down. Had a bit of a snafu with iRacing race control, telling him to pass the field, and ended up with a black flag that didn't get cleared in time.
Oof. That's tough. As we see at the bottom of the screen down there, you can see your those on pit road. We see Dustin Dean on pit road. This is an interesting pit road too because of the shape of it. You can easily speed through the corner there, as it's not quite a straight shot. As you see these guys having to check up for the field to go by, for pit lane to open. There's that 21 Dean's Eye Designs. Last year's Cup Series champion, and having a much better race tonight than he had last week at Bristol. I know I was giving him a little bit of a razz the other day for his tough luck at Bristol, but it's good to see him starting to work his way back through the field here.
Yeah, Bristol can be a lot like Daytona. So you got to have a lot of luck, not only to finish, but to finish well.
Also making their way into the top 10. Got the 99 of Austin Blaylock here. He's up to 10th spot. New picture here. He's able to get his mug on there. And I love how the 99 is right over the face of his girlfriend there. he was expecting to get a little razzle out of that as well.
Couple of big movers. Nicholas Ford moving up from 22nd to 9th.
Yep.
Michael White from 28th to 17th. Bailey Jones, 27th to 20th. Derrick Shapoo from 30th to 21st.
Fortunately, it also means there's a couple big movers in the opposite direction.
I wasn't going to bring them up,
I'm
though.
not going to bring them up, but...
They've still got plenty of time, right?
Oh, absolutely. As we see the field re-racking double wide, we're going to be going back to green flag racing next time they cross the stripe. And Kyle Mays picks that inside, Isaiah Gill on the outside. And then Colin Willems on the inside and Dakota Camper right there on the outside. So restarts at this track can be very tricky. That outside lane seems to have a lot less grip than the inside lane. So we're going to have to see how that affects these guys as they come into the restart zone here.
Now, why is that, Josh? Is that because of the rubber that's laid down?
It's a little bit of the banking here. The outside has a little more banking. And there's a little bit of a bump right here. As you see Isaiah Gill almost getting to the side of the 55. We're back green flag racing, but Isaiah's already getting his sights set on that 55. We're going to go back into this blimp view so we can see these guys in the back all spreading out, trying to make it 3 and 4 wide. It's just incredible how these guys are able to make that work here. So we're looking at Gan Cypher almost gets into the back of the 12 of Brian Merle Jr. there. He had such a great run going into the corner that he just had nowhere to go. The 12 just definitely had a lot more break in it than he was expecting. Almost runs in the back of him. But up front, Isaiah Gill has now moved into first place. And Kyle Mays has dropped back to fourth. I'm going to go back and see what happened here.
Oh, we got a
We
spinner in the back stretch.
Yep.
The 20 car.
Caution is out. We'll now bring up our...
Nicholas Ford.
Yep, Nicholas Ford in the 20. See if we can see what happened here. A lot of damage to that car, both front and back. As you can see, he's on the bottom of 3 wide here and jumps down onto that apron and just loses it in the transition. Catches that inside wall. I'm going to throw the replay screen back up. It's not going to be a Wreckage Rewind. Well, let's see if we can see where Isaiah Gill took the lead here. And what caused that 44 to, or sorry, that 55 to fall back to fourth. You see Isaiah down there on the apron, and the 55 just pushes up the track and gets the pressure from Isaiah Gill, and he pushes up the track and catches the wall. He's going to slide all the way back to fourth place. So
that's easy to do.
Oh, see Brian Nudie joining us for the broadcast. Let's see here. Sadly, iRacing can't undisqualify drivers. I would have known the black for that. Shame it ruins Zach's race. That's tough. Brian Nudie, don't forget to tune in next week for Gill's Dump Truck Services and Pizzeria 120 at the Glen. I know Brian's watching. I don't see him on track here, but he's going to be a favorite next week at the road course. Last time we ran a road course, Brian dominated it, and I've been watching Brian on Facebook. He's got his own real car that he's been driving around a little bit. So I'm not sure. I believe he was running down at Sonoma, if I'm remember correctly. He might correct me here in the broadcast, but yep, Brian said he'll be there next week for that, and I expect to see him running up front and probably driving away again. So Matt, last time they ran the a road course, they ran the Roval at Charlotte, and Nudie just drove away from the field. He was not touched by anybody. I don't think anybody even really came close to him. There's a little bit of a time where tires were coming into factor and people were right on his back bumper, but he was able to drive away and manage the tires, and he's a heck of a road course racer. He just responded. It was a 15-hour race at Sonoma, which is incredible. I would love to do something like that. I know me and a couple of friends want to do one of those lemons races or chump car races. So I'm itching to get in a car. If anybody wants to get one of those together and you need a driver, let me know. I'm in. I got my fire suit ready. I'm ready to jump in.
You ready to do the fun part?
Oh, yeah. I can't wrench, but I can drive. That's for sure. Under the next yellow, I'll give you a little story about one time I was on a road course and had some fun.
I've got a son like that. Race go-karts with me. He likes the driving part. He doesn't like the tire prep part or the changing the oil part.
Absolutely not. As the pace car pulls off, Isaiah Gill with a great restart here. Yes, I said Isaiah Gill with a great restart as he pulls in front of Colin Willems here into turn 1 and 2. Behind him, Will Witt, Dakota Camper. Great battle there. As we go through the dog leg again, and these guys are making that dog leg exciting. I see Eddie Morris up on the outside here, trying to make the outside work. Oh, Joseph Wright getting really loose off the corner there. It's so easy to do as Eddie's got his sights set on that 55. Kyle Mays, who, after leading the opening couple stints, starting to fall back with that damage to his car. It's really easy to get up in the wall and bend some front suspension, as you see the 55 really loose off the corner there. Also saw Brett Merle in the 24 back here, also really wild and sideways as the 08. Sorry, the 09 of Michael White. It's making his way up through the front. And right behind him, Dustin Dean coming into the picture as well as he's moving up into the 13th spot, and that car is just sideways off the corner. You can see these guys really sliding around already.
Yeah, Dustin's ready to go. Oh, we got someone in the wall in 4. I don't see a caution coming out for it.
No caution. As Derrick Riggle has jumped into the pits, and up front we see Logan Hagerman getting underneath the 55, and that 55 is in trouble. He's just going backwards right now. And I take that back. Riggle is not going into pits. He just likes to run that apron through the corner, and my time in scoring is thinking he's going into the pits. So you see these cars come off the corner, and they're these tires are starting to really wear out. As we are already seeing the lap times drop over a second already. A little further back in the pack is a battle between Brian Merle Jr. and Jacob Bowen. Right behind them, Gannon Cyphers. Oh, Gannon Cyphers sideways into the bear. Oh,
That'll
that's going to
bring
be
out
a
the car.
big one. Oh, that's a tough break for a lot of good cars right there. As we saw that happen live, it looks like the 42 just got a little loose off the corner, or in the middle of the corner, I should say, and see if we can figure out what happened here. Switch to this camera view and take a look here as he gets into the corner. He's already in trouble. He starts pushing up the track. The back end of that car just starts to slide out all by itself, and you can see that. And when the track's that flat, you really don't have the banking to catch the car, and it just turns right around. Unfortunately, right in front of the 24 of Brett Merle. Looks like Brett's going to be able to get by, it looks like, but that's the 51. Doesn't look of Zachary Cox. Doesn't look like he's so lucky. Oh, the 11 of Dylan Redding just getting involved. Max McClure can't lock it down. He gets caught up as well. See the 4 of Craig Schroeder in that great Magna Night car. I love that. Gets on the binders to slow down and just loses it. You see the back wheels just locked up. The track just closes up. Nowhere's for these guys to go. It was Nick Ford and Michael Lawrence just barely squeaked through it.
Well, I was about to ask you when these guys are going to come in for fuel, but this might be a good time.
Yeah, I imagine these guys will be able to run about 50, 55 laps on fuel. So you're going to see a few guys coming in pit road here. Get those tires, get that fuel up. So I know I said I would talk about a little bit of my racing before. I used to work for General Motors, and part of my training, I was the Corvette specialist. They sent me out to Las Vegas for 3 days to drive Corvettes around a racetrack. I know, it's tough work. And there was a point where they had me move up into the lead position behind the trainer car. And he said, the faster you go, the better you hit your marks, the faster I'll go and whatnot. So I'm right on his back bumper, and we're going around the test track. It was Ron Fellows driving school. And I'm right on the trainer's back bumper. And after about 2 laps, he comes across the CB radio. They all have CB radios. Comes across CB radio and goes, yep. All right, Josh, why don't you slow down and let everybody else catch up? And I look in my mirror, and there is nobody. And it made me feel really good knowing that it was a professional driver and a trainer, and I was able to keep right up with him. And nobody was even close to my back bumper. So it was a cool track. It was like a mixture of a lot of different tracks. It had S's that were kind of like I'd have to compare the S's to Road Atlanta. And then there was a really, really high banked bowl corner that reminded me of the carousel at Nürburgring. And then there was a set of corners that was just like Mosport turns 11A and B. And it was just a really, really cool track. And it was a lot of fun. And if anybody's in Vegas and you get an opportunity, go check that out. Because I do know that they do have driving schools, and you can sign up for that. And if you have a Corvette, I know there's a discount for Corvette owners to get that driving school. So it's pretty cool. Well, we see Isaiah Gill taking the outside to restart here. He had a good restart last time, so he's going to restart out there again. And Will Witt moving up to the second place. He's going to restart second. Eddie Morris in third, and Logan Hagerman in fourth. See Jordan Dean. Let's go Dustin Dean. As the pace car pulls off, Isaiah Gill leads him back to the restart zone. Green's in the air. And Isaiah with another great jump. And another car that got a great jump here is the 7 of Logan Hagerman. He's going to move up into the third position around Eddie Morris. Eddie Morris is going to fall back. He's already back to 5th. As he's under attack from Kyle Mays, who's going to take that position. A little further back, we see Dustin Dean, Joseph Wright, Jacob Bowen, and Brian Merle battling it out back here for 10th. Dustin Dean to the outside of Austin Blaylock. Dustin's able to make that outside lane work. Normally, that is not a position you want to be in. As he's coming up to the outside of Eddie Morris.
I'm not sure Dustin has a whole lot of choice.
No, that's true. But yeah, he's rolling that outside, and it's incredible he's able to make that work. Will Witt has moved back around Logan Hagerman for that second spot, and he's got his eyes set on Isaiah Gill. And Dustin Dean does finish the pass, moves himself up to 6th place. Another great battle back here between Joseph Wright and Austin Blaylock. Right behind them, another great battle between C.D. Moore and Brian Merle Jr. That 28 of Jacob Bowen's just kind of caught up in the middle here between two great battles.
Yeah, Joe and Austin have been flip-flopping all night so far.
As we take a look at the blimp here. Oh, the 28 gets into the back of Austin Blaylock. And Eddie Moore shoots up the track, almost gets into the wall.
You almost wonder if Eddie's trying to save a set of tires for the very end.
You know, he might be, as we see Jacob Bowen now going back to work on Austin Blaylock. I don't think Austin really appreciated that bump going into the coming off the corner like that, but yeah, Eddie Morris just currently dropping back. I don't know if he got up into the wall and he's got a little bit of damage, or if he's, like you said, just kind of falling back to save a set of tires. Dustin Dean up into the 5th position, setting his sights on Michael White. And we always see Dustin Dean really like these flat, short tracks. I know Phoenix is a mile long, but it really drives like a short track with the really, really flat corners. And see the line that he's running compared to everybody else. He's entering high, and he's kind of rolling the center just a little bit more on the higher side. That time he's right down on the yellow line, making a liar out of me. Well, let's watch him as he comes through one. Oh, he gets real loose. Nice save. It's incredible. Let's see what he does here in turns 1 and 2. And you can see how much higher he is. Oh, again, he made a liar out of me. That time he was right against the line. Way to go, Dustin. Making me look bad. As up front, Isaiah Gill is just kind of checking out right now. See, his lead is increasing now over Will Witt. He's just over a second. Logan Hagerman, 2 seconds back from Isaiah. It's really starting to. You're really starting to see the front of the pack really stretch and spread out, but more towards the middle of the pack, we still have this gaggle of cars here all jostling for position, as we see the 28 of Michael Bowen trying to make a move underneath the 12. Oh, he gets tagged by the 52 of C.D. Moore. And that's going to bring out a yellow, as we saw that one live, but we're going to take a Wreckage Replay look at this one as well. Tough break for Jacob Bowen there. Just not really sure what to say about that. We're going to take a look here from the blimp, and we'll see.
C.D. Moore and Jacob are pointing the finger at each other, so let's see what really happened.
Yep, as I hit the wrong button on my end again, I apologize. You're going to have to watch me rewind for a second. So let's use the chopper view here. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened. As Jacob's up underneath the 12 here of Brian Merle Jr., and he's not able to, because he's pinched down a little bit, he's not able to get the run off the corner. Here comes the 52. It looks like the 52 might have came off the bottom just a little bit, got into the side. That back quarter panel of the 28 sends him around. You see the 18 of Colin Willems. Great evasive maneuver to get around the spinning 28 and keep himself off the wall. You know, I can't put the blame on either driver there. I'm going to chalk that one up to a racing deal. Because that's just short track racing. And up front, Joseph Wright. Isaiah Gill, Will Witt into the pits, Logan Hagerman into the pits, Kyle Mays. That's going to put Joseph Wright, Colin Willems, the 95 of Michael Provo, the 31 of Blake Hensley, and Zachary Cox in the 51 up into the top 5 here.
When's the last time Joe and Colin and the rest of the gang came in?
I believe that Joe pit on Joe, the big Seahawks fan from Rochester, New York. Well, Joe has not pit yet. He's out there 50 laps. Colin Willems, he pit about 14 laps ago. Michael Provo also hasn't pit yet. So, a couple of different pit strategies. Even fifth place is pit 3 times. So he's been in for fuel at least. Believe these guys only have 3 sets of tires, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
And I'm not really sure when the stage break is. I should have checked that before the race started. Let's take a look here. So tonight, the stage ended at lap 35. And that was the first stage. And these guys have 2 extra sets of tires. So 3 sets of tires total. So you see Joe really trying to save those tires for later on. And
if he hasn't come in though, I can't imagine he can go much further on fuel.
Oh, fuel window is probably about 70 laps, between 50 and 70 laps. I'm not really sure. He's been out there for
Aren't they
quite a
running
while.
12 gallons? Or is that just the trucks?
That's just the not sure, to be completely honest.
Because that's one of the things that I was looking at in practice. I get about 3.5 laps per gallon. But that's in the trucks with 12.4 gallon tanks.
Yep, as the lights are off on the pace car.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out pretty soon. Joseph Wright, Colin Willems, Michael Provo, and Blake Hensley lead them to the restart zone here. As the pace car is going to take that easy turn into the pit lane. And I worry about those older tires here with a little bit of wheel spin, but green flag back in the air. Joseph Wright gets a great jump off Colin Willems, and he's going to lead him into turns 1 and 2. But Colin fighting hard on that outside here. Oh, little contact between Joe and Colin, and Colin's easily going to make the move right around. And you see those 50-lap old tires that Joe has definitely is not helping him at all. As he's just going backwards as he's getting passed by the 95 right now on the outside. But to get that track position, it makes sense to try to stay out there and see if he's actually making those old tires kind of work pretty well right now. He's still holding on to that second position. But we see Isaiah Gill now already up to the 9th position. You can see the difference in tires as he can really just drive the car and put that car wherever he wants it. Right in front of him, Dustin Dean pit a couple laps prior. They're 3 wide as the 95 caught on the high side there. great battle here for this gaggle of cars. We see the 31, Blake Hensley. He's looks like he's missing his hood. He is. He's got some damage. He doesn't have a hood on that thing, but he's still able to make that car work. That's pretty incredible to have some damage on your car like that, but still be able to move forwards. As a little farther back, Michael Provo in this 95 machine, still stuck on the outside. He's having some issues. And I did just notice that the track has darkened up a little bit in turns 1 and 2. That means there's a little cloud cover over there. That's going to help these guys fight that looseness. But Colin Willems now out to a big lead. You see Dustin Dean now under pressure from Isaiah Gill. Dustin Dean moved up to the second place. Isaiah Gill in that third position. That's a great battle on track as these two are battling it out. A little further back, we've got this battle going on between Chris Wheeler, Joseph Wright, and Logan Hagerman. As we see Will Witt just drive by everybody right there. What a battle we have shaping up here.
Well, you can really tell who's got fresh rubber on their wheels right now, can't you?
You can. As we talk about fresh tires, Dustin Dean and Isaiah Gill, even though they're battling side by side, they're still catching Colin Willems up here. As Colin's going to have to pull over here and just let these two battle it out because they're just so much faster than him. But he's able to hold on with those older tires very well. Isaiah Gill and Dustin Dean both with 11 lap old tires, and Colin Willems, I wish they'd let us know if he took tires or not, but he's either got 50 lap old tires or
all on the back.
Yep.
Caution.
Yeah, yellow is out. That's gonna bring up our Wreckage Replay. It looks like I believe it was
Zach Cox.
Yep, Zach Cox involved in this, and let's go ahead and bring up the replay here, and he's up on the outside here of the 31 of Blake Hensley, and you see him just way up high there in the marbles, and you already see that wheel turning hard to the right as he is real loose, overcorrects it. Man, look at the tail slapper. And then just loses it into the inside wall. Tough break for him, but that was an incredible piece of driving. Actually, I want to get the driver's
car.
I was gonna say I want to see the driver's eye view of that. I want to see how hard he was just working that wheel. So let's see if I can find that roll bar view so we can actually see the driver here. We're going to do real speed here so we can see exactly how hard he's working that wheel. Tough break for him, but incredible, incredible almost save for him. As up front, we still have Isaiah Gill, Dustin Dean. On pit road, see Max McClure, Greg Froelich, Eddie Morris, Dylan Redding, Blake Hensley. I don't think Joe
Joe came in.
Joe did come in.
Yeah.
So that's going to put him back in the 17th, but he's going to have some fresh rubber. See if he can make his way up through the field here. And as you've seen, fresh rubber makes all the difference in the world at a track like this.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds a lap.
Mick Olfson just says, keep digging, Will Witt. So there's another shout out there. And as I mentioned before, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, tell your friends. We got some exciting stuff coming up. Like we just launched the Intensity Broadcasting podcast that we're doing live. We're going to be doing live every Sunday. The last one was recorded, but we will be doing them live every Sunday before the original Rebels Racing League. That's going to be me, Atlee, and Joe. And yeah, if you want anything shouted out through there, just let us know. We'll do our best to promote. We're trying to promote our leagues, promote special events, and talk some iRacing and some real racing. So it's a lot of fun. We were talking about during the Daytona rain out, so we really couldn't talk about the 500, which was a fantastic race. Congratulations to Michael McDowell for the win there, coming out of nowheres and avoiding the big one.
Hey, and none of our races have weather delays.
No, they don't have weather. iRacing does not have weather delays. That's for sure. As the pace car is getting ready to pull off here. Isaiah Gill on that outside. Dustin D on the inside. Isaiah gets a great jump. And green flag is back in the air. And Dustin Dean's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to do what he can. As they're 3 wide going into turn 1 here. Nick Ford with a hard charge into turn 1 there, making it 3 wide, getting around Colin Willems. He's going to set his sights on Michael White here.
We got 28s or 82s around.
Oh. The 82. Uh-oh.
He should be okay to keep going.
To see what happened to our own Joseph Wright here. As we see, whoops. I did it again, Matt. Did it again.
Blame it on me. It's all right.
I know. No, I meant to hit the slow motion button instead of the live button. As you see, he's down beneath. Yeah, he's down beneath TJ Floyd. Catches that apron. See, he was below that yellow line for a second, then just pushed up the track into the side of TJ Floyd. Right in front of Max McClure here. Max has got nowhere to go. Speaking of Daytona 500, that looked a lot like Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch there, as neither one of those drivers really had anything to do. And here comes Dakota Camper trying to get it woed down on that high side. So Joe's going to have to come down pit road. Service on that car. You see that car. Front end all tore up. He might not take a reset, though. He might just get that repaired. We'll have to see what he does here. We'll see if that damage in the middle there pops. No, it looks like he's going to get it fixed. Save that reset. That's a good idea. Yeah, that Daytona 500 was a late one for sure. It was enjoyable to watch. But we got a shameless plug here. I know because he said shameless plug. Go follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/4cloak.
I was down there last week for Speed Week, so that was a good time.
You know, Daytona is definitely a bucket list for me. It's a track I want to go to. Unfortunately, it's a long drive for me to get down there. About 24 hours, if not more.
I understand.
But
I'm fortunate that my parents live down there, so I can fly down. I got a place to stay, someone to pick me up. Not everyone does.
so last year, 2000 in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, back in February, I was actually down in Florida while the Daytona 500 was going on. My wife's family took the whole family down as a retirement present to the family. Went down and took the whole family down to Florida. We were in Sarasota, so you see Dustin and Isaiah here having a little fun under yellow. And I kept telling my wife, I'm like, us boys should sneak across the state and just, we're only about 3 hours away. We could drive across there and go catch Daytona. And she's like, no, not going to happen. And I remember vividly sitting in our little condo watching the final laps of the Daytona 500 last year and me just cringing at Ryan Newman going up in the air. And thankfully he walked away and he was okay. He didn't walk under his own power that day. But incredible to see him back in the car after such a horrific accident. It just shows how safe racing has really become over the last few years. And it's great to see the innovations that get passed down as the pace car is pulling off. We're going back green flag racing. Isaiah Gill on the outside. He's the control car. Green's in the air. Isaiah puts the throttle down.
It might have caught Dustin Dean sleeping there.
Yeah, looks like it. As now Nicholas Ford is trying to make that high side work. But it looks like he's going to lose quite a few positions as they're 3 wide back there. Will Witt with the big dive down to the bottom. Oh, contact! That's Michael White and Nick Ford. They both made some contact. Nick, some heavy damage on the front end of that car. Lost the entire front clip. He looks a lot like the 8 car did at Daytona there. Nick Ford is now driving the cutaway car here at Phoenix. He's able to make that thing keep going.
It's still got plenty of speed though.
It's a Northerner that definitely looks like a modified that you'd see up here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Fortunately, that's the handle on that car is gone and he's sliding backwards.
Not as quick as I thought he would though.
Now as he's almost gets into the side of Chris Wheeler there. And yeah, he's in some trouble here. As he's now going backwards in a hurry. A little bit further up, we've got a battle here. Logan Hagerman and the 55 of Kyle Mays. Kyle back to having some speed after having repairs done on his machine. He's got a little right rear damage, it looks like. But he's still starting to move back forward through the field. Another battle on track here, the 52 and the 12. And the 22 of Chris Wheeler, the 12 of Brian Merle Jr., and the 52 of Cody Moore. All battling out on track right now is just behind them. We got 3 wide with the 4 car. The 11 and the 09 here. And that's a big move down to the inside. Talk about cutting that dog leg. He was almost down to the wall down there. They come off the corner.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got a spin in the back. Looks like Jacob Bowen. Yellow is out.
I couldn't tell if Jacob lost it and came down into the 42, but they got together one way or another.
Yeah, I kind of caught that at the top of the screen there. See if we can see exactly what happened. Very similar to what we've seen a couple of times tonight, where the cars are, everybody's going 3 wide. You got 1 car way up high in the gray. And you see the 42 and the 28, a lot of room between them. I think Jacob just loses it all by himself here. Trying to keep it, yeah, he's trying to keep it off the 51. Puts too much wheel in it, loses it, comes right down in front of the 42. They both catch the cone there, unfortunate for the blue cone. And just those two cars involved in that. So you see Jacob on pit road getting his repairs done. I believe the 42 is still on track, so don't think he's got too much damage. Looks like a little bit to the front and the back, but looks like he'll continue on. Another big mover tonight, Billy Jones.
I wanted to see if Nick Ford had a reset remaining.
Just want to throw a shout out to Billy Jones here. Up to 14th. She's having a good run. She had a pretty good run a couple weeks ago at Atlanta and got caught up in a couple things at Bristol, but she's making it work here. It doesn't look like Nick Ford's going to get that thing repaired. He's got that thing all tore up. He's right there in front of Bailey, and she's having a great...
He's not coming in.
But our biggest mover tonight, actually second biggest mover tonight, would be Dustin Dean. He's up 18 positions into second place, but Blake Hensley in that 31 machine is up 19 positions, up in the 12th. That's a pretty sharp looking paint job, that Ski-Doo machine. I believe that's what it is. It's kind of hard. Yeah. The driver of the 31 Ski / John Deere Ford. So pretty sharp looking ride right there. I always appreciate a good looking car. Surprised the hood's missing off that car still though. But up front, Isaiah Gill going back to that outside line for the restart. We'll have to see if Dustin Dean gets a better jump here. A little contact between those two. What do you hear on the radio between those two? Anything?
No, it's quiet between the two of them.
Those two finish 1-2. We'll have to ask about what was going on up there. A little gamesmanship. Having a little fun with each other. Don't want to tear up the cars, though. Don't want to tear the cars up under yellow. As we go back to...
There we go.
Green flag, and again, Isaiah Gill...
He didn't even wait for the pace car to get out of the way.
That was a fantastic jump for him. A little further back, we see the 18 of Colin Willems making a move underneath the 7 of Logan Hagerman. If they're going to use that dog leg again, and a little further back, we've got 3 wide. Oh, we see a little contact between the 11 of Dylan Renning. They were 3 wide for a second. They're still 3 wide. A little further back. See a great battle shaping up here towards the back here. They're all spreading out, and you know, it's amazing when these guys are racing as hard for last place as these guys are running for first place. But Isaiah Gill now pulling away yet again from Dustin Dean. And now Dustin Dean is starting to have a little bit of pressure from behind from Will Witt. You see Will Witt sneak the nose there for a second, just letting Dustin know he's there, and looks like Will might have
Watching it
overdrove.
out again. Oh,
Yep.
big one on the front.
I say it
Right
looks,
at the start finish line. Jackson, Joe.
oh, sounded like it happened way in the back here. See if we can dial up here what happened. It looks like all right, so I've got it dialed up. Let's go back to the action. It looks like the 09 of Michael White gets loose all on his own here coming off the corner. And you see this 11 of Dylan Redding sideways too, so you can tell how slick the track really is. And as he catches that inside wall, comes back across the track in front of the entire back of the field here. Max McClure hits Jackson Qualley, Joseph Wright in it as well. The 47 of Michael Lawrence nowheres to go. He gets a piece of it. And then
Did the 8 of Eddie Morris get through that?
no, he did not. As you see him spin right there. We'll back this up just a little bit. See what happened to Eddie.
The 4 bounced off the wall into him.
Yeah, he catches Jackson Qualley, and yeah, it's a lot of intensity broadcasting cars caught up right there. The boss man isn't going to like to see that one. Fortunately, the iRacing bill for fixing cars is a lot lower than the real life cars.
And there go 2 fast repairs.
Well, you know Joe is holding on to his.
Not anymore.
But not anymore. And Billy Jones up to 7th.
When was her last pit stop? Because about half the cars right now should be good to go.
She came in 37 laps to go. So her and the leaders are all on the same pit strategy here. See, Dustin Dean went in and pit. He fell back to 14th here. I'm sure he took some tires and it's going to give him a little bit of advantage. Same thing with Colin Willems, Kyle Mays, Austin Blaylock. They're all back here on some fresh rubber.
Thirty-seven to go, 64 laps. We'll see.
It's been a great race so far. It's been incredible, all the side-by-side, 3-wide racing. We've had a couple cautions, but besides that, we've had a lot of exciting racing throughout the field here already. As Isaiah Gill's going to restart on that outside again, and this time Will Witt is going to restart on the inside. Dakota Camper up to 3rd, and Logan Hagerman in that 4th spot. Actually flipped that. Logan up to 3rd, and Dakota in the 4th spot. Brian Merle Jr., Blake Hesley, Zachary Cox, Billy Jones, TJ Florida, and Michael Provo will make up your top 10. As we see Isaiah lead him back to the restart zone. Pace car gets ready to pull back off. Green is in the air, and Isaiah again with that great jump. But here comes Will Witt to the inside. Not as great a jump as we've seen earlier. As Will Witt's able to stay right there with him. A little further behind, we see Dakota Camper starting to go backwards. We got 3 and 4 wide in the back here. That 95 of Mike Provo just not able to hold on to it down the apron. That's going to check up a whole lot of cars. A little further back, we see the 50 of CD Moore. We see some 3 wide back here as well. As these newer tires, guys like Eddie Morris, CD Moore, these guys back here that were just involved in that last wreck, these guys have fresher tires, and you're able to see them start making some moves. As up front a little further, they saw 3 wide between Kyle Mays and the 51. And Kyle with a hard charge into the corner, nowheres to go. He's going to go around the outside of Bailey Jones. So isn't Colin Williams, and now you're starting to see where these tires are really paying off for these guys. A little further back in the pack,
We got more cars on the front. Yellow's out. We got someone who flipped about 3 times here. I think it might have been Derrick Shapoo.
Yep, that's who I just dialed up on my screen here, and oh yeah. Let's bring this back to the action, and you'll see that 37 machine of Derrick Shapoo is already completely out of control sideways. He's got that wheel cranked to the right, trying to straighten that thing out. He comes into the corner of the 09 on Michael White. Gets hit by Max McClure as well, and you see the 37 not able to keep the shiny side up as he's going to go barrel rolling down the front stretch here. Over 2. 3 times.
2.5, I think.
No, that's a full 3 turn. Yeah, we'll still call it 3.
Close enough, right?
Close enough. Yeah, that's a tough break for him. That's never any fun to be tumbling down the front stretch like that. And we'll take a look at that in real time so you can see just how fast everything really just happened here. Fortunately, just those 3 cars involved, nobody else. Is see him lighting up the rear tires trying to get that thing back on its wheels, but not going to happen. As up front now, we got a new face up front. That's the 35 of Will Witt. That Harper Salvage Falcons Graphics Chevrolet up into the point. As we had a lot of people come in and pit this time, and Luke is up to 3rd already. Dustin Dean. So you see how that pit strategy is really working out for Dustin tonight. Yeah, he fell to the back, but he's right back up there with fresh tires. It looks like Bailey Jones pit. She fell back to 22nd. Brian Merle, Logan Hagerman. Isaiah Gill is back in the 19th spot. So a couple big movers forwards and back. But we'll have to see if Isaiah is able to drive that thing right back up to the front. Looks like he just came in and pit.
Yeah, I got a feeling those top 3 that were on that 37 lap stint came in to get fuel.
We take a look and see where the stints are now for these guys. And Will Witt out there on 44 lap old tires. He's the longest out there, so he's got his work cut out for him. Camper with 31 laps, and then Dustin Dean 9 lap old tires. So Mays, Willems, and Blaylock out there also going to be on that 10 lap stint when we take the green. So we'll have to see how Will Witt, who picks the inside to restart. And Dakota Camper there on the outside. It's my boy Will Witt representing. That's Mick Olofsson. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but cheering on Will Witt here as the pace car pulls off. Will hits the accelerator. Green flag back in the air. And immediately out to a good lead. Dustin Dean now underneath Dakota Camper. He's going to make that work. And now he sets his eyes out on Will Witt, who just does not have the tires right now. As they head back into turns 3 and 4. This gaggle of cars all jostling for position back here as they come off of turn 4. And Michael Provo way high there. See a couple of cars in the back getting real loose coming off of turn 4. Just Dustin Dean all over the back bumper of Will Witt. He's going to take that hard left turn onto the dog leg, gets position. He's going to slide into the lead here coming off turn 4. Don't look now. Kyle Mays got that car all fixed up. He's made his way back up in a second, and looks like he's going to be challenging Dustin for a moment here. But Will Witt back to the inside, making those older tires work, which is incredible. I was not expecting to see Will be able to stay up there and battle as hard as he is, but he's making it work as caution's out on the track. And oh boy,
and
I just saw that. It's not what we wanted to see at Intensity Broadcasting. It's like Joe Wright was caught up in another one here. And it looks like, oh, I'm going to let the pictures speak for themselves here. So it looks like Joe was taking 3 wide here, just tight racing. Nowhere's to go for him. He gets in the back of the 22. The 52 there was right underneath his bumper, and he really couldn't do anything, but man, that's just a tough break for both those cars. Nothing neither one of them did wrong, unfortunately for them.
You know, it almost looks like the 22 was on older tires and had to be checking up quicker than Joe was anticipating. And
as Joe's got that front end missing on his car. And up front, Dustin Dean, as Will Witt went in and made a pit stop to, he saw those fresh tires, just nothing he could do with them. Kyle Mays in second. Colin Williams up to third. Austin Blaylock, let's talk about Austin. Austin was talking to me before the race. He was not expecting to have a good race tonight. He said he was struggling all through practice and making the best of it now. He's in 4th. So he's having a great run here. And right behind him, Brett Merle in that 24 machine. Just an average guy who puts his pants on 2 legs at a time. I like it. And I think Noah just jinxed Joe a little bit. Because just before that yellow came out, he came across and said, Max may be destroyed, but the great message for Dustin and Joe is still out there at least. And then Joe gets caught up in that. So,
and that was number 2 for Joe, so he's parked.
Tough night for Joe. Jackson Qualley having a great run here. He's up in the 11th spot after starting way in the back, up 18th spots, so. Same with Blake Hensley. Up 19 spots. So some big movers throughout the field. Again, we got it's the lap count. I think we're going to be going back green with about 15 laps to go. Is that correct?
I'm showing 17 to go. Are the lights off? So 16?
Yep.
17? 17.
Dustin decides to take the outside, just like Isaiah was doing earlier in the race. Kyle Mays to the inside, and we saw Mays, who started on pole, have such a dominating start, then get shoved up into the wall, and he just slid backwards. So looks like he's looking for a little bit of redemption here, trying to get himself back up to the front, which he has, and we'll have to see what he's got for Dustin Dean on this restart. This pace car pulls off. Dustin leads him back to the restart zone. Green flag's in the air. And Kyle's got no choice but to fall in line behind. He's going to, and going to take a look to the inside of Dustin Dean, but it doesn't look like it's going to work for him. So we switched the blimp view so we can see all these cars that spread out down through this dog leg here. Isaiah Gill starting to make some moves. Yeah, he's got a great run here. He's trying to make something happen. Oh, the 20 of Nick Ford loses it. He's able to hold on to it, though. He's great save for him. Yeah, he had a great save, but unfortunately, he's going to lose a lot of positions here. And Kyle Mays losing a position here to Colin Willems.
Turn four.
Caution is out. Looks like it was TJ Floyd.
Yeah, surprising that it wasn't worse than it was.
Well, it looks to me, TJ's up in that that high line here, and the 71 pushes up the track a little bit. I'm not putting the blame on the 71, but that forces TJ up into the wall. And when he bounces off the wall, because he's in the corner, he just loses it, comes back across the track, catches the 4 car, the 22 gets a little piece. The 12 is able to check up and avoid. Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
What a piece of driving there from Brian Merle Jr. in that 12 car, able to completely avoid that. I want to see if I can get an onboard there with that 12 car, because that was an incredible miss here. We're going to actually ride up on the roof here with Brian, and you'll see. Oh, I'm sorry. This is TJ Floyd. We want to be on the 12 car here. So let's go back, and thought I hit the 12 here. You just see TJ have such a run there and nowhere to go. Gets up into the wall. Brian's able just to lock it down and completely avoid that. Incredible piece of driving right there. So with just a handful of laps to go, Dustin Dean, Colin Willems, Kyle Mays, 24 Brett Merle, and the 99 of Austin Blaylock, your top 5. Any of these cats really have a chance to win it here.
And Isaiah Gill's up to 6th.
Isaiah is up to 6th, and I'll tell you what, he's been coming on hard. Eddie Morris up to 8th. Having a great rebound here. Jackson Qualley up to 11th. Bailey Jones up to 12th. So a couple drivers who had some trouble early. And a couple drivers who were off their pit cycles a little bit compared to the leaders. Making their way back up into the closing in on the top 10. But as we've seen, as the laps have ticked off here, the intensity is going to be raised with just a handful of laps. And with that open dog leg, I expect to see some really wild racing here as they come back to the green. So it looks like the pace car lights are going off this time. Dustin Dean does pick that inside lane again.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not the last caution.
You are probably right.
Just a guess.
And I have a feeling this restart's going to be pretty wild, so I'm going to see if I can get a great little blimp view here. See if I can zoom out a little bit here so we can get a little better view of the field as Dustin Dean is leading them through 3 and 4. The pace car does pull off. Green back in the air. What a great jump, and you can see that entire inside row kind of didn't get going. We got 3 wide going into turn 1 here. That's Logan Hagerman in the middle there. He's got to back out. But as they come through 1 and 2 here, 10 to go, they all spread out.
95 sideways into the wall on the back.
Yellow is back in the air. So we're going to bring up another Wreckage Rewind. So it was a 95. It's Michael Provo. See if we can see what happened here. And it looks like another case of just getting up into those marbles and catching the wall just a little bit, and when you pull off the wall, just sliding back down across the track. And fortunately for him, due to this open dog leg, that's technically part of the track, so when a car hits the wall and bounces off, they've got to throw the yellow for safety. It still amazes me that that car is running as well as it is with no front end. That's the 31 of Blake Hensley. It looks like he's got to fall to the back here.
Yeah, he got an EOL.
Looks like he's having a little bit of a connection issue there.
That's right.
Yes, cautions are killing Gil. So Brian Newey just came across and said, and I agree with you, is he's still sitting in that 6th spot. It's unfortunate for him. So we see the 37 of Derrick Shapoo. He's going to get the lucky dog here. He gets to pass the field to get back a lap here. When we go green flag racing, we should have only about 6 laps to go if my memory serves me right. Due to my time in scoring, I unfortunately do not have a lap counter.
Coming up to lap 115.
Yep. But I can do this and see we've had 13 cautions and we've got 7 to go. The lights on the pace car are still on. I believe they'll be coming off as we cross the line here. And Dustin Dean does pick that inside line again. Now 6 laps to go. When we take the green, we'll have just 5 to go. And man, I'll tell you what, if I'm sitting there, if I'm Isaiah Gill, Brett Merle, Eddie Morris, Jackson Qualley, anybody sitting back there. I'm going to use as much of that dog leg as I can to try to gain as many positions as I can. Fortunately, Isaiah's stuck on that outside here, so he's not going to be able to get down there as quickly as he'd like. As Dustin Dean leads them off of turn 4. Pace car peels off here. Green flag's back in the air. Dustin with a great jump. Colin Willems with another great jump here, too. He's going to try to make that outside work around Kyle Mays. As they're going to be 3 wide coming off the corner. Back to this blimp view, and you see Isaiah Gill does get down to the bottom. He's trying to make as much ground up as he can going into turn 3, and we got a yellow back in the air.
Oh, we got more. Max hard into the wall. The 12. 22.
So this actually starts a little bit in front of those guys. I'm going to roll it back here. From the blimp, if you take a look at the blue 4 in the middle of the screen, he gets a little help here from Michael Lawrence coming off the corner, and he's going to get really, really sideways. Right in front of TJ Floyd. What that's going to do is when they see that these guys back here are going to check up a little bit because they see that slower car on the apron. Michael Lawrence way up high. They're going to be 4 wide as they come off of 2, and that's just not going to work. As you see Michael White. Let's take a look at this real quick. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 6 wide right there coming off of turn 2. And I don't care what track you're at, 6 wide does not work. Fortunately, that causes a big mess behind as you see Max McClure get caught up in that, and man, 6 wide. We just saw 6 wide at Phoenix. If I told you were going to see 6 wide tonight, you would not have believed me.
You know, we keep this up, and Derrick Shapoo is going to be on the lead lap.
Well, we're going to have the 3 most exciting words in motorsports right here. Green, white, checker.
I thought that was start your engines.
So are we going to see another one here where we're going to have to get the old pucker factor going, or you think we're going to be able to race this one out clean to the end?
No way.
So you're calling for the pucker?
Absolutely.
There's
no doubt about it.
Got it. Witt's back up to 10th. That is correct. Jackson up to 9th. Having a great run. CD Moore sitting in 8th. He's having a great rebound after getting caught up in a couple messes earlier. As the lights on the pace car do go off, Dustin Dean again picks that inside line.
I'm watching Isaiah on the back here going into turn 3, and you can tell he's just itching to go.
as the pace car pulls off. Does Kyle Mays have anything for Dustin Dean? Green flag back in the air. We're back to racing. 2 laps to go. And Colin Willems now trying to get inside this 55. But here comes Isaiah Gill on the outside. As he's going to try to make that outside line work here around Colin Willems. Move Isaiah up to 3rd place, and the yellow is back
Caution
out.
is out again. Looked like the 3 car was involved.
See if we can see. Yep, I see.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, and
May have gotten a little help from the 22.
I would say he got more than a little help right there. As they come into the corner here, the 22. Great run into the corner. Unfortunately, just nowhere to go. Just carrying a little bit more speed than the 3 car, and the 3 is going to come back up in the traffic. Billy Jones able to get around it. And then behind, we see a couple more cars stacking up. It's like, oh yeah, he's going to completely lose it here and right at the entrance of pit road. So that's going to give us another attempt here at a green-white checker. And you know who doesn't want to see these green-white checkers? Dustin Dean. It's the last thing he wants to see. Although Isaiah Gill has moved up into that 3rd spot, and he's going to be restarted on the inside here, right behind Dustin. Here comes Derrick Shapoo getting another lap back. How many more is it?
8th lap.
You know, with another green-white checker coming up, and Isaiah Gill starting in that 3rd spot, Dustin Dean's got his work cut out for him. And if I was Dustin, I know he's probably listening to the broadcast right now, so I'm not trying to tell him what to do. But if it was me, I would start on the outside.
Would you? I'd go inside.
Oh, no, I would take that outside, because if you take that outside line, you're the control car. And you're going to have the 55 on the bottom in front of Isaiah Gill. Almost setting up like a block, almost setting up the pick there. Because I'd rather have the outside here and get the run and have that 55 block the 2 than have to worry about the 55 basically being at my back bumper going into turn 1. But we'll have to see what Dustin does here and see if anybody on the Facebook here has any opinions on where you'd want to start. Look at that. Dustin takes the outside.
Just like you called it, Josh.
I personally think it's a smart move. That might actually be the race-winning move right there, if we don't have another caution. Nudie says, let's go Gill. Nick Olson also says outside. So he's right there with the same thinking I've got. Here's Dustin really making sure those tires are cleaned off. So he gets a good restart here as the pace car gets ready to pull off. We got another shot here. Some overtime green-white checker. Dustin laying way back. Green flag back in the air. And there you go. There's Dustin now under fire from the 55, but looks like he's going to be able to get that drive off, and Isaiah Gill falls back to 4th place. Here comes Colin Willems underneath the 55. See if he's able to get that position as they go into turns 3 and 4. Doesn't look like... Oh, they're 3 wide coming off the corner. Isaiah Gill stuck in the middle. They squeeze him.
Caution again.
Caution is out before they caught the white flag. So you can see what happened. That looked like, I believe, TJ Floyd was involved in that one. Or was it behind him? Oh. Trying to find the wreck. Do you see it out there?
Turn 4. I'm looking for the car number.
Oh, I see it here. Oh, there's a couple cars involved in this one.
42
I think
and the 20.
I think the 42 is the one that went around. Yep, that's exactly what happened. All right. This actually starts way up in front of these guys. I'm actually going to go on the blimp view here because we can see Jackson Qualley getting hit by the 20 car here. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the 47. Michael Lawrence getting hit by the 20 car here. He goes for a long drift. No, I do take it back. It is Jackson Qualley. Jackson's able to straighten it out, and then they're 3 wide with Logan Hagerman and Gannon Cypher. Gannon catches back up the track, hits the 20 car, and that's what brings out the caution is those two getting together. Jackson Qualley doing a great job straightening that thing back out, and fortunate for...
Almost looks like a late model at the dirt track.
Yep. So this should be the last attempt at the green-white checker. As you can see, the track has gotten dark. Looks like a cloud has come over the track. So that's going to, well, at least through 1 and 2, that's going to cool off 1 and 2 and give these guys a real good jump into the corner here. Looks like 3 and 4 is still in the sun, though. As we do see that it is partly cloudy. So the clouds are going to slide in here just a little bit. And you see 3 and 4 definitely in the sun. You can see the shadows prominently of those cars as they come through 3 and 4 here. And most people don't think, oh, that's going to make much of a difference. That's going to make a huge difference. Michael Lewis says, let's go Nicholas Ford. Fortunately, Nick caught up in that last one there. He's sitting back in 26th. As the lights on the pace car are off, this time Dustin will take that inside line. That way he can try to block that hard-charging Colin Willems, who's trying to go back to back to back. Won the Cup Series race last week at Bristol, won the Truck Series race at Bristol, and now he's trying to put himself in position to win this Cup Series race here at Phoenix. As the lights on the pace car are off once again for the last time. Pace car does pull into the pits. I'm a little early for that, but there he goes. Dustin Dean leads him back, and he fires, and green flag back in the air. What a jump from Dustin here. As here comes Colin Willems underneath the 55. Here comes Isaiah Gill. Trying to make it 3 wide. Coming off of turn 2. Kyle Mays, though, with the run off the corner. But Isaiah's trying to do everything he can. Move Isaiah up into the 3rd position. A lot of hard racing behind. Isaiah sideways off the corner, trying to make it work. White flag in the air. Big wreck on the front stretch. We're going to say green. Oh, Isaiah gets turned by Colin Willems. Oh, tough break for Isaiah. Does Kyle Mays have anything for Dustin Dean as they come through 3 and 4 for the last time? But off the corner, Dustin Dean across the stripe. Dustin Dean's going to win the Estrella Mountains 120 here at Phoenix. As you see chaos. A lot of cars smoking, a lot of damage, but your winner tonight, Dustin Dean, goes from wreckers last week to checkers this week. And we'll have him burn it down real quick, and then we'll take a look at the replay because I want to see all the action that went on coming to that last lap. There was quite a bit going on there.
A lot to process there on that final
lap. A lot
lap.
to process on that final lap. Yeah, but here's Dustin Dean. We had all those practices last year. Quite a few wins with the burnouts. So let's bring up the Wreckage Rewind because I want to see exactly what happened through there. As there was quite a few different incidents, if you will, back there. Oh yeah, we got a whole lot to digest here. As there was about 4 different incidents all on that last lap. And it's going to start with the 2 of Isaiah Gill. So I'm dialing up this replay here. So it starts with the 2 of Isaiah Gill as the 18 just drives into the corner, and unfortunately, I hate to say it, just kind of dumps Isaiah there. And as Isaiah comes across the track here, that was the first incident. A little further, then as this progressed on the front stretch, we saw the 51 go around. I don't think that is... Yep, there is a little further back. So I know Bailey Jones was caught up in it. Actually, that was the 3rd incident back here. I saw Eddie Morris in the 8 on his side. There we go. So we see the 31 sideways. Right in front of him, the 24 just loses it. Eddie Morris caught up in it. Gets hit, plowed. Ends up on his side. Bailey Jones caught him. And they're still driving through it. And then right behind this... Oh, yeah, there was just chaos all over the track here. We see the 4-car, which was the 3rd incident involved. As he got squeezed up, trying to avoid it, as they all came piling in. So, but your winner tonight, Dustin Dean, making his Polish victory lap. Let's pull in our 3rd place winner, finisher here, Colin Willems. Colin, is Josh and Matt in the booth. You got us?
10-4.
Man, tough race. I know you wanted to go back to back to back, winning both Bristol races last week, and then try to win again tonight. And I saw you and Isaiah have a little bit of contact going into turn 1 there. What you see from your side?
Yeah, he got pretty out of shape coming out of turn 3. So I had a big run on the inside. I saw him start to come down, so I expected a big block. So I slowed down early, but it wasn't enough. He still came across my nose there. But yeah, no hard feelings. It's racing. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, just hard-nosed racing there at the end. So I know strategy and tires were a big part. I know at one point you stayed out for quite a while there before going in. Were tires a big issue here tonight?
Yeah, I pitted pretty early. Took that first set pretty early, and then I was asking quite a bit out of that second set of tires, but I think they served me well. The timing worked out, put me in a position for a top 5, so I was glad I was able to get it done.
Awesome. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Cassie, of course, Nick and Cora, Ian, and I want to congratulate Dustin for the win. That was a really good drive that he had. I want to thank everyone in the league and thank you guys as well.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, guys, take care.
And I don't see Kyle Mays. Yeah, I don't see Kyle in here at all. So we'll pull in our winner here, Dustin Dean. Dustin, Josh, and Matt in the booth. You got us?
I got you loud and clear.
Congratulations, going from wreckers the last 2 races in the Cup Series and the Truck Series to checkers tonight. Holding off some hard-charging cars there at the end and bringing home the W. Were you listening to the broadcast when I said to take the high line there on that restart?
I was not listening to the broadcast. I was not.
So I said, and Matt can back me up on this, I said if I was Dustin Dean, I would take the high side and pin Isaiah Gill behind the 55 of Kyle Mays. Is that what you did on that restart? Was that your thought process?
That's what I was doing every time. Every single time I was trying to pin Isaiah back. I tell you what, man, it was a long, hard fought night. So I don't know if y'all even know this. I was about an hour away, about an hour before the race started, and I'm driving home, right? And my wife actually was gracious enough to get on here, register for the race, get on here, and I got in just in time to qualify. I had not ran a single lap of practice, and I don't even know how that happened tonight. But huge credit to Max and Blake and even Zachary Cox, man. They set it up with the fuel strategy. That was all them. Like I said, I hadn't had a bit of practice, so that was all them on that, and the rest of it just worked out.
Dustin, I take it your wife went through and put the update in for you?
Yeah, she did that earlier today, and so yeah, grateful for her. If it wasn't for her, I would not have been racing tonight for sure.
What a great woman.
She is, dude. I'm blessed beyond measure, man.
You know he makes up for it, though, because you know she's going to make them all beautiful later on.
Exactly right. Speaking of making it beautiful, the reason I won tonight, it was because I was so inspired after listening to y'all's beautiful broadcast, or podcast, I should say, and hearing the kind words you said about me, Josh Hall.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. Like I said, if you watch this broadcast back, you'll hear me say, and Matt, again, will vouch for me, that I said I've been giving Dustin some razz lately. I've been razzling him a little bit, but I mean it in good fun, and I was happy to see you come home with the win tonight.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm just excited to not have to worry about these points anymore.
I know you win and you're in, so it's going to move you into the playoffs. And I know Kyle Mays wasn't in the booth or in the Discord tonight, so we have a little extra time to talk to you. So I do have to say my wife has done the same thing for me, loading up iRacing and get it into a race for me so I could race when I got home. But Dustin,
yeah. Well, let me say this real quick about Kyle Mays since he's not in here, man. He put up a tough fight, and those stupid green-white checkers just kept coming. And I knew that he was going to get me one of those times, but I was just able just enough to get a jump to make it happen. So, man, kudos to Kyle for a great race.
Yeah, and I do have to say, because I always have to ask, anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Of course, my smoking hot wife, who without her I wouldn't have even raced tonight. And as always, I have family that love and support me and watch every week. And so thank you to those guys. Thank you to Dean's Eye Designs, who make up a little bit of money on the side to help me race. If you need a flyer logo, as always, reach out to me. We'll make it happen. And thank you guys. Y'all are awesome. Matt, I love the way you call the race. Josh, I like the way you add to what Matt's saying every once in a while.
Got it.
Well, we appreciate the kind words.
All right. Thank y'all guys for
Dustin,
the
again,
interview.
congratulations on the first place finish yet again, Dustin, and again, lock you into the playoffs. So takes the pressure off you the rest of the season, I'm sure, especially going to Watkins Glen next week, which I know is one of your favorite tracks, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I really do actually love it. I hate road courses, but I love Watkins Glen, the fast speeds, and I don't know. There's just something about it. It's my favorite.
Awesome. Well,
That being said, I'll probably finish last.
all right, Dustin, it's good talking to you. And again, I'm sure we'll talk to you again this season.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
So that was your winner, Dustin Dean, tonight, winning the Estrella Mountains 120. And Matt, man, exciting race, a lot of action throughout the field. Yeah, we had a couple cautions tonight, but overall, just a great race, a lot of hard-nosed racing.
There was, and it was from start to finish, first to last. It wasn't a big enough track to get everybody all spread out. I was really surprised that there wasn't as many lap cars to deal with tonight.
Yeah, for sure. So next week, again, we move on to Watkins Glen for, I want to make sure I get the sponsor for next week's race right. Next week, it's the Gills Dump Truck Services and Pizzeria 120 at the Glen. So look forward to that. Watching these boys tangle at the tough Watkins Glen road course, which is actually one of my favorite road courses as well. So I'm right there with Dustin Dean. So again, Matt, it was a great night tonight. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, again, like, follow, subscribe, Intensity Broadcasting on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Trying to get that 1,000 followers by the end of April. So make sure to tell your friends, invite them, tell them to like it. Even if they don't like it, tell them to like it. And watch out for our podcast on Sunday night before the Original Rebels League. Our next race will be tomorrow night. We're going to have the Intensity Broadcasting Super Late Model Series. And then after that, the iOS Truck Series. So join us tomorrow night for another doubleheader of racing. For Matt Knights, I'm Josh Hall. As Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.